welcome. Uh,
Vishesh, I'm not able to hear you. Just 1 minute. There is some network issues from my end. Just give me 1 minute to set up.
Actually, my microphone was muted for a bit, so probably that is why you couldn't hear me, which is certainly not an alarming problem.
Yeah.
First of all, great to see you after such a long time,
Same here,
and
man.
you are quite ready, ready to unleash yourself for this session so that a lot of young students can perhaps benefit.
Yeah. Why not? So first of all, very sorry for my this very shady background because I'm operating from my old laptop, my company laptop just ditched me, and you know so very apologies for this thing, and yeah, the last minute hustle.
Yeah, it does happen. And the great part is that the words will still remain the same, and I believe that will be as useful because it's pretty much about the content rather than
Definitely.
the appearance, certainly.
Definitely.
Right, we have people joining in, and again, so Karmagna or Karma is my batchmate, and he is like a serial entrepreneur for students, at least, if I can say. And when I started out, my small venture, he was the first person I reached to because he has seen the ups and downs of it. So I will give it to him first so that he can tell something about his journey as a young entrepreneur before we can take the session ahead and talk about various things. So he's been quite secretive with me about a lot of things. Let's see how much he reveals today.
Yeah. Vishesh, first thing that I want a bit about all this, students presented here, a small background or something, so that I can see who all are they. And the second thing, how you plan the session? Can you, if you can brief me about this, this will be very great for me. But I have planned my session in 4 or 5 different ways, 5 different sections. So yeah, first you start, and then I'll join.
Right. So I can tell you that we have mostly our first and second year MBA students, and we might have just a couple of recent graduates at most, right? So first thing that. Second thing that, since I know you quite well, and I kind of half expecting the things that you're going to be talking about, there are some things from those which I will throw at you, and we'll have a discussion about it from our experiences, and then we can touch upon a couple of things extra if you may have
Okay.
after that, right? So first we'll start
Sure.
about with your journey and your experiences in this domain.
Okay. So first thing that I was a part of entrepreneurship cell of KJ Sumaya, my college, my post graduation college, and which is really a very enriching journey for me. Yeah. Okay. Am I audible, Vishesh? I can't
Yes,
see
yes, you're
any.
audible. You're audible.
Okay. Just bear with me for with my poor network. Yeah. Okay. So my journey started with when I joined this entrepreneurship cell in my college. In my graduation, also in mechanical engineering, I was a part of entrepreneurship club, which was not so much active. But when I joined my post graduation, this ECell Pathfinder, which is very active, and I got I got many chances to meet lots of very good entrepreneurs. I met Narayan Murthy. I met Sachin Bansal. I met few other serial entrepreneurs also. So that thing keep me motivated. And this is how journey started. And one more thing that I'm a Gujju. So being a Gujju, you're all about your ventures and you're all about money and all these things comes in your mind. Ki dhanda karne ka hai. This is what you are from very childhood you are nurturing for this thing. So this attitude, from the starting, it is in me, and I got a very good platform in my schooling as well as in my graduation and college time, post graduation. So this is how journey started. Meanwhile, I would like to highlight that me and my partner Shashank, he was my batchmate, and we started a small thing in our first year of our MBA. So we started. We learned so many things. We learned this market research subject in second trimester, if I'm not wrong. And we thought that we are so good at it that let's start a small venture with this. So we try to touch upon with few faculties. Then we try to touch upon with few alumni that see we know SPSS, we know this, we know few research tools. So do you have any projects for us? And luckily we got one project, and we earned also out of this project. Then we thought कि अरे ये तो बहुत बड़ा चीज है, मतलब we can grow really good in this particular domain. Then we plan to start a new one firm and register firm and all these things. So this is how a small effort or a small interest towards one particular subject drew me into entrepreneurial journey. Yeah, so that was
Right,
my
I would like to pick from there. One very important thing which you mentioned is that, a lot of
Mhm.
people who think about entrepreneurship, let's start thinking, oh, I don't have that big idea. Oh, I can't change the world with one of my ideas. If you see what he really did was that, market research is not an extraordinary thing in the world, right? It is the
Definitely.
crux of things. There are tons of companies doing it, and it's very critical for every form of business. So what these guys looked at is the availability, the need, and the execution. So which is so important, and I think he will also talk about it later in the other things that he will mention. That it's not that massive idea. It's not a necessity. You need to start
Definitely.
small. And that would definitely have brought a lot of learning for him. Am I right?
Yes, Vishesh, if you allow me, I would like to share, common myths about startups.
Yeah,
Which
sure. That
is
would
what
be
I
amazing.
this. Yeah.
No, it was my issue,
So,
so it's okay.
yeah. Okay. Okay. So, common myths. So, the very first common myth is, I can't change or I can't start with a very small idea. अगर करना है तो I would go with a geo strategy, nationwide first. I cannot start with a small unit. I cannot change with small thing. This is the first common myth. Everybody, if I start a very small shop, for an example, at the corner of a one very tier 2 city, nobody is noticing me. But if I have a money, if I have a fund, if I start in the mega cities at a 10 showrooms, big at once, so which is very eye catching. But this is a myth. Technically, you can start from a very small. Even you can start from your laptop sitting at your home only. So bada nahi karna hai. Start with small. If you validate in this small thing, then you'll eventually grow. So this is the first common myth I would like to highlight. Second myth I would like to highlight is, I people are very secretive. Initially, you also told about something secretive and all. So I cannot share my idea, right? So this is a common myth number two. Like, just I would like to ask participants that how many of you know the model of Uber? If anyone can raise your hand or unmute yourself and can say yes. What is the business model of Uber? Or Zomato or any other startup. I would say Ola, Uber, Zomato, Swiggy, or let's go to other startups like Amazon or Flipkart. Please, someone unmute and tell me. Do you know the business plan of this particular startups? Yeah, it is available all over the internet. You know everything about the startup. But does it mean tomorrow morning I wake up and start Ola or I can start Uber tomorrow morning? No. So you can it's very safe to share your ideas. Don't worry about that. So this is second myth number two I would like to highlight. Yeah. So yes, Vishesh. And third myth is about people are not focusing on different parts, which is not necessary. For an example, if I would like to give an example, most of the people started startup, and the main motive is to serve customer is the king. You're starting for customer, but most of the time customer is aside and they are solving the virtual problem. So are you solving a real problem or are you solving a virtual problem? So this is a myth. These three myths I would like to highlight. Thank you, Vishesh.
Yeah, that was great, man. And
Vishesh, you are on mute.
okay, that was great, man. And these myths are very important. To know, especially if we talk in this talk context of student entrepreneurship. that if you're ready to start small only, then you can start as a student, because as a student you have to start small, and it's more about the quality of the problem solving rather than the quantity
Definitely.
of it. So let's just talk a little about why is it important for students to have this experimental stage by trying dirty. Why is it important for them? uh, let's start with you, and then we'll see how we can add more and more to
Vishesh,
this.
Vishesh, can you please come up again? Last part. I guess some issues were there.
Yeah, I was saying that, uh, why do you think students should get their hands dirty and try it out in their while they're students?
Okay. So first thing, have you ever heard the concept of A/B testing? It's a very common concept in advertisement. So A/B testing is you come up with one small MVP product, a minimal viable product. You can go with this small thing. If it validates, if it measures all the checkbox and if it tick mark all the checkbox, you can go measure. So it is also called the pilot testing. For an example, it's very easy to burn money, but it's very difficult to recover money. If I have a 1 crore rupees, I can easily burn in one startup. But to recover this 1 crore rupees, probably I may need 5, 10 years. I don't know how many years. So this is the first part. So if you are going start and validate your idea with MVP, minimal viable product, in student phase, student life. So with small efforts, with little efforts, I cannot say small effort, with little efforts, with hand holding guidance, how you can have the hand holding guidance, you have faculties, and if you are doing any mistake, so it's okay because you are student, right? But when you're going into corporate, when you have responsibilities, for an example, you have family to feed, then you are not supposed to allow any or do any mistakes. In this particular student time, you have all the freedom. If I want to bunk lecture, okay, bunk lecture and go for your entrepreneurial journey. But if I want to bunk my office and I want to start something, no, I cannot. So these
Right.
are the reasons you must try on this particular student life.
Right. So we had Prateek Ranjan, who also had his venture in his grad, and it was very successful venture, very profitable venture. And in our
Mm-hmm.
podcast, he mentioned that when you are in a college or a B school, especially when
Mm-hmm.
you are in a self-boarded college, then you
Mm-hmm.
have free resources, free people, and a lot of support, and you are not even have to pay anything additional for it, and you can start things, and you will not get such an opportunity again. You have the freedom as well as you have free resources, including consultation and everything. Like he mentioned it, things like ESL, and you're working on something, and there is a summit, and people are visiting your college. You can now go to them, ask them. If you're a professional, you can't catch hold of people like this and get their guidance. As a student, you have the liberty to do it every time and any time you want to. So that's a lot of advantages, and it also builds a lot of skills. We do learn about a lot of management skills. We also learn about creation and creative skills. It's very easy to learn about them, but if you try and actually do it, it'll not just make you a successful entrepreneur or a business person, but it'll also help you in your professional life, even if you pick up a job. Maybe it's not about that $1 billion startup which you create in your college, but it is about the $1 billion learnings that you take, which we both believe are
Definitely.
very important. Those $1 billion learnings. Right. So, my next question, or probably I would say the topic of discussion, would be that how can a student develop that mindset, that entrepreneurial mindset which we talk a lot about. And how do you get the right mindset to get into the mix of things?
Okay. So first thing I would like to say that MBA, you are learning businesses, right? MBA, most of our the MBA students right now. So Master of Business Administration, you are learning business. Just one simple question: why are you learning business? To work for other? Simple question. If you can work for yourself, why you should work for others? This is the first thing. Second thing I would like to highlight is, people will say that I want to change the world. There's very uncertain time. I want to earn more. I want to be my own boss. These are the kind of myth statements. Definitely, they sometimes it's true, but the passion. If Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam once said, dreams are not that you are watching in your sleep. Dreams is something about which won't let you sleep. So if you have some burning desire, if you have some passion, you are very passionate about something. So entrepreneurship is the key to follow your passion. This is a simple thing. So that's why you have to inspire or start at a very early stage. This is the first thing I would like to highlight. Second thing I would like to highlight that why people are following celebrities, because they are public figures. And public figures, why? So what? They are public figures, then what? They are affecting lots of people's life. Day to day, they are affecting lots of people's life. So being an entrepreneur, you can also affect millions of people's lives. Just one simple example, and I'll answer this. I'll close this particular question. That it is very easy for us to ordering from Swiggy and then booking a cab or shopping online. But before few days, I was sitting with my grandfather, and in this lockdown time, I want to order something because of some we don't have some grocery at our home because of lockdown, and I order from my mobile phone, and my grandfather is surprised. He said, "Okay, you can't do this. This is not real." So when you sit with your grandparents and you say some normal things, okay, I'm ordering cab or I'm ordering food, which is they cannot even imagine this thing. So this is what technology is. So this is how you can touch lots of people's lives. Yes, Vishesh.
Right. So, that burning desire is very important. And, things that don't let you sleep, apart from it, one of the context which it really comes into that things for which you want to wake up every morning. I think this is something which all of you can relate to, that the day you have an early morning flight when you're going for a tour or something, you automatically wake up and you're automatically very, very energetic. So, because you're really excited for it, you're really, really passionate about it and really want it, what if that feeling could come to you every day? And that's the real entrepreneurial kick and the entrepreneurial mindset. And last thing that about this similar context was that when you are getting into entrepreneurship, right, that drive when you have within yourself, the fact that your thoughts are with you all the time, but while you're an entrepreneur, your thoughts can actually become reality. So that's the real connect that you can make.
Hmm.
So I would definitely see that from my end, I don't have any major questions. And today we really, really want to wrap it by 7:30, because obviously the biggest cricket festival is also beginning today, which is the IPL, and most of us are really excited and geared about it. So I would like to ask Karma that if he had any couple of topics or points left which he wants to cover.
Yeah, can I present my screen, Vishesh?
Yeah, you can present your screen. Bottom right, present now.
Yeah, just 1 minute. Give me 1 minute.
Yeah, sure.
Uh, okay, so I've identified 6 steps of how to become student entrepreneurs, right? Am I audible, Vishesh? Because I
Yes,
cannot see my screen.
yes,
Okay,
yes,
cool.
yes.
Cool. Okay. So running your own business is no longer the reverse of the seasonal professionals, right? Season professionals. So very quick. I won't take so many boring presentations. Just very quick. In 5 minutes, I would like to complete this. So based on the research, only 10% have already started a business. Of course, there's a US research data, not Indian research data, which may refer. It's less than 1%. This particular thing is now 17% students plan to start a business before graduation. In India, again, it's a less than a single digit. And again, plan to pursue 27% of people plan to pursue their business as a career after graduation. I was just going through IIM's placement reports last week, and I found less than 0.3% people are obtaining for entrepreneurship. Rest all the people are going for placements. Right now, first thing, if you want to start be a student entrepreneur, what would you like to do? So first is evaluate yourself. You know your skills, your knowledge, your industry, your desired industry, how you want to work. All these things matters. This taking this thing in very simple word, that you should know something about the industry in which you want to start something. you must have somewhat passion about this particular industry, or somewhat guidance, somewhat knowledge, some resources about that industry. Tomorrow morning I cannot wake up and say, okay, I want to start something in cosmetics. I don't know anything see about cosmetics. I cannot start, right? I can start, but it needs lots of efforts from my end, and it needs lots of cash burning, lots of guidance, and probably if I'm starting with automobile, which is my field, the chances of success is way, way, way higher than I'm starting in cosmetics. So evaluate yourself and your skills and your knowledge, right? Taking further, second thing, have a good idea. Observe the gap. And as I said in my starting couple of the minutes, that don't solve virtual problem, solve real problem. If I want to solve key some any virtual problem, there are thousands of startups have started and closed and shut down in within few years and within few months, in fact, right? Out of 100, 93% startup is not able to see 100,000th day, means less than 3 years the startup are 97% startups are getting closed. So this is the actual figure in India, right? So have a good idea. And there's a one flow chart. I'll share this image file with you people so that you can go through. I won't stretch a bit in this particular path, but I would like to highlight this main points. Many time what I feel that my startup or my idea is not so strong that I can start with as of now. So I need two months or 3 months to work on that idea particularly. But what I felt after certain point of time, with MVP, minimal viable product, you can start with doable. I can start with doable products now, and lifelong, the changes and lifelong modifications will come into this particular product. But you cannot wait to make your product perfect, your service perfect, and then jump into real world. So start with MVP. This is I would like to highlight with this particular part. Third part, research the competition. Research about competition. What specifically you want to research about is when they are going wrong, and what are the skill sets, or what are the, I can say, USPs which I am providing, which they are not providing. So that's why you need to, case in point, particularly a case of failure, why they are failure, why they are not doing well. That's why research the competition. You can also say that how I can do better than this, or what particularly they are doing best. So this is how you have to research the competition. There is one concept of, entry barriers and exit barriers. So if I'm coming up with one startup with one idea, and tomorrow morning somebody can copy me, so this is, I don't have any unfair advantage. Point number one. So that's why it's very important to research the competition and what unfair advantage I can come up in my particular service or product which others cannot, right? So these are the things. That's why it's important. Fourth, make a business plan. As I told you, do not worry about sharing your business plan, taking inputs from your friends, taking input from your juniors as well, seniors as well as faculty members. The more people you talk, the more polished your idea will be. You know, uh, I told you that how many of you, most of you know the business plan of Ola, Uber, Google, all the fortune startups, all the unicorn startups. It's all over the internet, right? But can I copy tomorrow morning Uber's vision and mission and their execution? No. So don't be secretive. It's okay, but make a very polished business plan. It's not a small or 1 day or 2 day process. It will take months. Sometimes it will take years to make a very beautiful business plan, right? This is the fourth point. We are coming to end. Seek a mentor. Mentorship is very, very, very important. And I'll take a 1 minute to give a one very beautiful example. This Farm Easy. Everybody knows Farm Easy, and most of you were ordering your medicines from Farm Easy also. So there is one case. In this case, particularly, one hair fall medicine was on Farm Easy, and people are ordering this hair fall medicine. But eventually, what they found, the rating of this particular product A, hair fall, is very, 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 very small, like probably a point or 1 star rating. And then most of the people shifted to second list, product B, right? And product B is 5 star rated. And the trend they observed is all the people out of 100, 95 people order a product A, but it won't work well. Then they ordered product B, and they were working very smooth, right? They're losing the hair fall. and the first product is causing hair fall more. So this was the problem. Now they tried a lot to search what is going on, why this is happening, but they have a mentor in healthcare. He is a MD in this particular field. So what he said, this particular content in product A or product B, contents are same. There is no difference in content, but it is by nature. If you are taking this particular product, 5 days it will cause you more hair fall, and and the sixth day it will stop causing hair fall and start preventing your hair falls. So this is the nature of the product. But they, what they did, they initially changed, they initially stop and remove this product from their website or their particular app. So if you have a strong mentor, if you have a very good excellent mentor, he can prevent you from goof ups. He can, if you are doing by your own, it will take years, but if you have an expert mentor, he can do it, or he can guide you for a month, right? So this is a, your journey time is shortened with this good mentor. In the last part, registration of your business. Tomorrow morning, if I'm starting a one website and selling some stuff or doing some different or innovative thing, but people can trust me. Can people? No. Reason is I'm not validated. I'm not, approved from all the government license or any other ISOs or any different thing. So there is no reason to trust me. But if I have my registered firm, if I have my registered business, if I have registered my patents for the processes, if I have registered for ISO and all, if I have taken the Government of India Startup India ka thappa, these things will help me a lot. So register your business for trust. Okay, so this 6 points I would like to highlight.
Right, that's really excellent. And you spoke in detail about a lot of them, and uh, I would specifically talk about the last one, which is very less talk about registration and public licenses. I had to,
Hmm.
I went to a vendor. I was talking to I was in my industry, which is offline gaming. I was talking to some senior
Hmm.
position holder, and he said, "You're not getting it registered. Forget copying. Somebody copying a product, somebody will register it, and then you will have to pay it." I said, "Please, thank you. I will go register my product ASAP."
Right.
So that was it. I hope all of you here had a bite into entrepreneurship and how why is it very important for students, and you must try invest yourself and risk it a bit. Any quick questions if we have any? I think we had one in the chats by Yathans that what happens when A/B testing fails.
Okay,
In case
so
there are any other, meanwhile you can put them in the chat, else we'll close.
okay, the reason behind A/B testing fail is, first is your target audience. You're altogether testing in different, altogether different target audience. So definitely your A/B testing will fail. This is the first. If you have a different segment, this is also second cause. Third cause, possibly, again you're solving virtual problem, then must be failed. And yeah, there are a few indicators which are called laggard indicators and leading indicators, which will give you the indicate why you are failing, and after failing why this has happened. So identify this laggard and leading indicators, analyze these indicators. You'll identify why your A/B testing got failed, and you'll get the particular pinpoint reason behind it. I hope I make myself clear.
Yeah, and you take those reasons and put it back into the product and R&D, and you will have your answers right there.
Hmm.
Right. So, any other questions?
Yeah, yeah,
Hello.
Tanish. Okay. Yeah.
Hi, Karma Achal here. How are you?
Hi, Achal. I'm good. What about you?
Yeah, I'm also fine. Your presentation was really good. I mean, the points you have covered are really nice, and I've also seen you grow in college. So, for the sake of students and even for my sake, I would like to ask you that on MVP part, can you elaborate further by giving examples or something like what falls under the criteria of MVP?
Okay, okay. So before starting MVP, just one power, power line, that many of the people say that learn how to swim and then jump into ocean. This is a concept number one. And second concept is jump into ocean and eventually you will learn how to swim. So there are two types of entrepreneurs. So what we are saying, jump into ocean and eventually you'll learn how to swim. MVP particular products, if I can say, Just give me one moment to take, identify one really good example. Yes, one of my friend, he's working on branding of potatoes. He came before before 1.5 year, and he said, I want to brand potatoes. How stupid or this idea looks like, but today he has a brand, Tuber Tales. So not even a single idea is stupid. So I would like to highlight few things about MVP in particular thing. He said, I want to buy, if I want to make profit, I want to buy at least 100 tons of potatoes. Then I have to brand it. Then I have to process it, and then I have to sell it. At the end, then I'll make the profit. So this is the first thing, that make your process perfect, get the capacity to buy 100 tons of potatoes, and then process it, and then sell it. But what is the concept of MVP says? You start with 10 kgs of potatoes, just wash it, do your all the processes, check in your nearby areas. If it works, okay, then slowly, gradually increase your quantity. Now start with 100 kgs, go with the different market, check your all the supply chain. Now is it okay? Yes. Now you can go with if there is some problem, then identify where is the problem, why I'm not getting orders, or why my reviews are very low. Does it really need it or not? Or I'm solving again virtual problem. Then if all the answers is yes, okay, good to go, then again he'll go with 1 ton, and then he'll rectify all these things, polish, and then sell. So this is a model of MVP. During this thing, he change his product packaging 5 times, this process. But if we wait for the perfect packaging, he probably have to wait for 5 months to start his business. He start with a small polythene, then he shifted to paper bag, then he shifted to net and paper bag, then he shifted to branded packaging. So this is the concept of MVP. You start with small, and eventually you'll polish, you'll learn during the journey.
Yeah, and recently one of our, I guess I'm not very sure because I'm consuming a lot of content these days, that
Mm.
minimum viable product, considering all types of products, contains the
Mm.
features which matter
Mm.
the most to the end user. It
Definitely.
contains just those features. As Karma mentioned
Definitely.
about those packaging, the packaging does not matter much to the end user in terms of use. It looks
Hmm.
nice, but the stuff inside, for example, the potatoes, which the person washed and everything, which we branded them, they were in a state which will give the satisfaction, which will fulfill the result. So MVP is just about focusing on all the elements which
Yes.
matter to the end user in the usage.
And adding to Vishesh point is, you have 10 features, but three features are most critical. I'll start with this three particular features, then I'll prioritize rest seven features. Probably in the next phase, I'll prioritize next three features. Now my product is with 6 features in second phase. In third phase, my product is with 9 features, and eventually I find 10 different features. And at the end of my final stage, I'll come up with that 20 features of a particular product. So this is MVP is prioritizing your things and important things. Yes.
So we have a question from Yathansh that does always calculating customer lifetime value is correct, as we focus on the customer who has higher value and forgetting the rest. I don't think that of course a customer which has higher CLV, any company would forget the rest of them, because it is as much as revenue is important, having a bigger customer base is important, because one customer shift from one CLV category to the other CLV category. It is important to understand CLV category to a boost that customer which has a potential of growing more, and growing your organization more by injecting more revenue. But you also have to consider the other customers, because they are not your high revenue customers, because perhaps there is an element in your product or your company which you are not able to fulfill their needs. So that's why you never isolate CLV like that.
Hmm. Vishesh, in just one line,
Yeah.
out of 100, 5 customers is making me profitable, and 95 customers make me brand.
Yes, perfect. Uh, very good way to put it through.
Hmm.
Right. So with that, we wrap up this session. Thank you so much, Karma, for coming here on such a short notice and taking this session. I hope that everybody here took something out of it, and people who will watch it later over recorded will take something out of it. And we will probably put through those 6 lovely slides through the guys as well shortly.
I'll,
Once again,
I'll
thank you
share
so much.
this. Yes, I'll share this thing, and I have a time. Time is not here. Otherwise, we could start with a lean canvassing. But I'll share the material lean canvassing as well as this six image photograph. So
Yeah,
please share my mail ID. If anyone has doubts, they can contact me anytime.
sure, I will do that.
Thank you so much, Vishesh. It's a pleasure to join MBA Beyond Books. It's lovely session. Thank you so much, Vishesh.
Thank you so much, Karma, and thank you so much, guys, for being here. Bye bye. Good night.
All right, bye. Thank you. Good night.